2511. Great pleasure to invite into our studio Ron Gutierrez, Eric Schweizer, and Carie Kuehn as we get ready for the Chappies. Ron, how did this all get started?
Well, it was kind of a brainstorm, and let's go back just a hair one more time. We did a decades book 10 years ago now this year. Scott Levine, who was our associate editor at the time, did a great job on a Chapy book, or on a decades book, and it was a look at local high school athletes. So it got the discussion started, well, we should do something every year for high school athletes, and how could we do that? So we came up with the concept of Chappies, Clinton Herald Athletic Performer of the Year. So we took that, and then COVID hit. So we did the first two virtual. Obviously, we were able to, in some cases, get the athletes to meet us at a sponsor's location to award the award in several categories. Obviously, Football Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, Team of the Year, such and such. So it was an interesting growing period for us. So this year, we're really looking forward to taking off the gloves and really going at it and having a first-class celebration of our local athletes.
Now, it is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be at the Vernon Cook Theater at Clinton High School. Now, is the public welcome?
Absolutely. We've got, I've asked the nominees and their families to RSVP just so that I could have an idea on numbers of who was going to be there, just to make sure that we could categorize everyone from that perspective. But open to the public, come on by. We hope to have a great full auditorium. It would be fantastic. And I think we're at 32 awards this year.
And what about the RSVP? How's that been coming along?
It's been coming along fantastic. I think I'm at about 200, so the athletes and their families. So
all right.
We got some big clans coming.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Carie Kuehn, how did you get involved with this?
So, well, I know at the time, 3 years ago when we were talking about this, Quad City Times does such a great job with their salute to sports every year, and it's so much fun to watch. And we just felt like our area in particular should do the same thing. And this is what it was supposed to be from the get-go, an in-person event. It's unfortunate because we almost got those videos down to a T over the last 2 years, but now we're going to have to do the whole, it's almost like the first year all over again, a work in progress. But it's so exciting to be able to, especially for me, living out of state now, being able to be back and actually get to see this, come to fruition.
So you came back for this?
Yeah, it was lucky because it coincided with my 10-year class reunion. So it was
okay.
a nice little getaway for me. I get a couple days with Mom and Dad, and yeah, I got to stay through for the Chappies.
So what role are you going to be playing tomorrow?
That's a great question. We're, again, like I said, it's almost like we're doing it for the first year again, so there's probably going to be some bumps along the way, but I'm just excited to be around and see kind of how it all plays out, because I got to see all these kids play all year, and it was a really exciting year in sports.
Eric Schweizer, you are new to the community, and you came on board about the time of the district track and field championships. I was with you up there in Dubuque. So how's it been going for you so far?
It's been going pretty smooth. Been trying to get the layout of the area. It's been pretty cool to watch, the athletes. I got to watch the districts for track and field, and really it's just been baseball and softball, but been able to watch some pretty cool games, some pretty special athletes as well.
Now, you are from Illinois, and here we are right on the river, so you're covering both Iowa and Illinois athletes, and of course, in Iowa, they play baseball and softball in the summer. In Illinois, it's more of a spring sport. What's it been like covering a bi-state area?
It's been pretty interesting. Haven't gotten too much of that, but I did cover a little bit of Fulton baseball at the end there. Covered their regional championship game. It's pretty cool. Definitely different. I did not know that Iowa played summer ball. I kind of like it a little bit more because they can get in more games because there's nicer weather. But yeah, it's been pretty cool to be able to cover some sports back in Illinois too.
And as I recall, you were just a graduate when you got this position at the Clinton Herald. Talk about getting that job.
Yeah, I kind of was just looking, and then Carie reached out to my faculty advisor at Illinois State down at the radio station WCND, and he told me about the job. I applied, and here we are, and was just thankful to get a job right out of college, to be honest.
Again, Carie, you are back for this, but you had a couple of stints at the Clinton Herald. Talk about your experiences with the paper.
Oh my gosh, I guess it's kind of been 7 years now. I was at Illinois State when I started as a correspondent when John Gremmels and Zach James were still in office over there, and I covered a lot of baseball, softball that year. And then I was lucky enough while I was working in the Quad Cities to see the assistant job. So I worked with John Gremmels for a bit. And then even when I did leave the sports editor position 2 years ago, I was still on quite a bit when Bo was in that position. I got to do a lot of correspondent work, which I really loved. And then I came back. It worked out really well with school at the time. And I'm really excited that I'm still kind of, dipping my toes in it still. It's a very complicated history, I guess, when you really put it that way.
Ron, let's get back to you. Of course, the event is coming up tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of production. I know the Sullivans, is it younger?
Little C.
Yeah, Little C is doing a lot of this work.
Yep.
Talk about what people are going to be actually experiencing.
Well, again, our goal is to really celebrate the idea and how our high school athletes are noted in our area. I think that was one thing that we knew was missing. Even though, and again, I'll go back. We've had a great pedigree of sports editors at the Clinton Herald going back to Schultz. I mean, we just fantastic sports editors who have really been involved with our high school athletes. So we're really looking forward to tomorrow. And again, it's a little bit of a moving target. We're still putting some things together. I still got to go over to the high school today to get through all the AV stuff and that. But we're very thankful for all of our sponsors, but especially with Colin. He has put together first class videos that I'll be able to give to all of the athletes. Also, we're running TV commercials on that because we have an agreement with WHBF. So just a fantastic way to, again, note all of their attributes to the area.
And again, one more time, how exciting is it to have it in person, to have the athletes there?
We are over the world excited. I mean, I just can't even, that's the key, is to be able to network. It's kind of like, we go to networking conferences and stuff like that. This is going to be a networking of all of our high school athletes tomorrow. And I am just so looking forward to that, to have them all in one room.
So again, it is going to be tomorrow at the Vernon Cook Theater at Clinton High School. Opening ceremonies will begin at 4:15. You can come in at 4 o'clock for the seating. I want to thank all of you for coming in. I want to get some final comments. Carie, you were kind of leaning into the microphone there. Looks like you wanted something to say.
I'm just so excited because I know it's changed a little bit with social media, but when I was in high school, you played against these people, but you never got to actually meet them as people off the basketball court or outside the field. And I think it's such a unique thing. We cover 8 schools, and all kids from all 8 schools are going to be in one room, and they're just going to not be competitive. They're going to be there and enjoying and remembering the rest of the season. And I think that's just so cool. And we have beautiful trophies, and our team did a great job on that magazine. It's one of my favorite parts of doing it. It turns out so well every year, and it's just, I'm so glad I got to come back.
And no doubt first class. Eric, some closing comments from you. And again, thank you for coming in and welcome to the community.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Only been here a couple of months, but to be able to be a part of an event to celebrate high school kids. Growing up where I grew up, small town, you didn't really have that. So that's just really exciting to be a part of.
And Ron, again, thank you so much for coming in, closing things with you. What do you want to say about what's going to take place?
Again, our doors are going to open at 3:30 tomorrow at the theater. We're going to have some light refreshments and water for the athletes and their families. And again, just one way that our community is thanking them for being a high school athlete and thanking them for all the sacrifices both them and their family do, and looking at their accomplishments. It'll be fantastic.
And I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I'm really looking forward to the event, having covered maybe their parents and grandparents. I'm looking to see how these kids are doing.
You bet.
All right, thank you all.
Coming up on the next John Tesh Radio Show, we've got all your favorite music.